Sometimes we forget about the notion of place, and one of the things that I think if you spend 4 or 5 years here, I don't think you ever forget this place. I think it becomes part of you.
Newfoundland and Labrador, a place like nothing you've seen and nowhere you've been. Spectacular.
And we just happen to be at the southern limit of the Labrador Current, and that washes the shores of Newfoundland. We're at the southern limit of icebergs. We're at the southern limit of lots of Arctic animals like thick-billed murres, like harp seals, that simply get to Newfoundland, don't occur in Nova Scotia. And so we're sitting right here on the lowest penetration of Arctic influence in the Atlantic Ocean. So, I mean, it doesn't get too much more unique than that.
I went hiking a few months ago on the East Coast Trail, and some icebergs had washed up on the rocks, and so I carefully went down and I picked one up and I got to hold an iceberg. And what are you gonna do when you hold an iceberg? Eat it, of course. And so I would eat it, and oh, it's amazing. It tastes like pureness. Like, it's so clean and so beautiful.
When we moved to Newfoundland, like we had the moving truck that came and just put all the boxes in the house, and then we don't have time to do anything. And then we got the neighbors coming, and they were bringing like pies, lasagna, and other things to eat, just to help us to settle down and just to tell us welcome. Your mother welcome. That was a big contrast with other places in the world I live in.
We had taken some of my wife's relatives, her brother and sister, to be specific, on a kayak trip. We had a perfect weather forecast, and the seas were good, and we just rounded the corner, and one of them said, geez, but time to see a whale, I guess, just to cap off the day. And a few paddle strokes later there, the whale was just offshore, a nice humpback whale kind of cruising the shoreline for food.
The nature, the ocean, these are all things that, of course, contribute to your perception of the place and the people, the famous people. For me in particular, I think that for the first time in my life, and I traveled and lived in many places before coming here, for the first time in my life, strangely enough, my body and soul happened to be in balance somehow. And that is something that obviously I have no control over, because it happens within about 10 hours after I land here.
Newfoundland and Labrador, home to Memorial University. The coolest spot in the world.